Anyway, next semi-final, Lev Vinken, Tuga. What do we expect from this game?
Depends who gets their way. Tuga's going to want a slow, controlling match. We saw that versus Ajax Tour. It worked for him. 2-1, low scoring. Levinkin's going to want more balance, a little more back and forth. He gives you a little bit of everything.
There's 3 places between them on the world rankings, but only about 500 points. I say only, 500 points is a decent number at the end of the day, decent margin, but we've got Lev Vinken, who looked so convincing in his last game against Lost in the Waves, but Tuga is just not conceding goals. He's conceded 1 goal in the knockout games, in 3 rounds. That's scary.
And you asked, what can we expect? Well, Levinken and Tuga have played before. E-Champions League, group stage.
Tell me more.
Levinken wins, 2-1. Low-scoring affair.
Low-scoring affair. Okay, next. Any others?
They don't have any other matchups against each other. We can talk more about what they've achieved individually this year.
Sure, let's do it.
Of course, we've seen Tuga, E-Nations. Did a lot for Portugal. He's done a lot for Portugal. Still doing stuff for Portugal. Very proud leader. Saw him team up with his partner in crime, reproaches.
Good team. Strong team. But Lev Vinken's been around the block. He's faced all kinds of challenges in all kinds of sizes. Now, my question to you, Mike, is there a way, is there a world where Lev Vinken plays in a way that makes Tuga come out and play? Are we going to see Tuga having to score multiple goals? Is it just not possible?
If Levinken's able to get a 2-goal spread, Tuga's got to come out and play. It's also worth mentioning that Tuga has something that Levinken doesn't.
What's that?
He's been to the finals once this year. Or actually, he's won a final this year. He was in the cross console versus F2 Tex in Atlanta. Levinken's never had that happen yet. It was close. He was playing Maestro in London with the PS4 finals. He lost that match. Maestro went on.
So despite the fact that Lev Vinken higher ranked with more points on the Global Series leaderboard, Tuga's got that little bit of end tournament quality. End game, if you will.
And might even put a little chip on Levinken's shoulder.
Now, this isn't the end game of our tournament here in Berlin. This is the semi-end game, the semi-final. But if you win it, you're through to the end game.
And you get an extra $15,000.
Just a small matter of 15K coming to one of these guys. So Lev Vinken versus Tuga. Let us know in the chat, who are you backing? Is it the big, immovable object from the Netherlands, Lev Vinken, or is it the unstoppable defensive force from Portugal, a.k.a. Tuga?
And people might think that we're joking, but you do not want to run into Levinken. Not in real life.
Just comment the way the music dropped there, by the way, on the exact point that I said Tuga. I don't know who's in control of that, if there's a Music Man or not, or if that was just pure luck, but it was literally music to my ears. Music Man, I salute you, whatever your name is, wherever you're from. Hecky. Heck, I'm hearing it. If you want, it sounds like I'm having a conversation with myself, but I'm getting...
You are having a conversation with yourself.
I'm getting info in my ear as I'm saying who's the Music Man and then being told it's Hecky. So Hecky, you're decent, mate. You're decent. I'm booking you. Next gig, I need a Music Man. I'm coming for Hecky. Right, 0-0. Tuga wants to make it a Tuga party.
And the reason that Levinken has more points is because he's qualified for 5 out of 6 majors this year. So because of his consistency, he's been able to accumulate more points throughout the year, throughout the season. But it all comes down to this.
This game, this is the first leg which we'll be bringing to you the semi-final. I've got a question for you, Mike. How do you feel about the fact that Tuga does not use Virgil van Dijk?
It works for him. And
clearly.
I still remember,
his defense is so good.
But I still also remember, if we go back a few months, Virgil van Dijk wasn't part of the meta. We had Team of the Year Ramos. We had Team of the Year Varane.
That's the centre-back partnership he's using right now. And he's got João Cancelo at right-back, a Portuguese player no less.
And then we were also seeing Rio Ferdinand. We were also seeing Maldini. People hadn't necessarily got away from some of those icons.
Tuga on the ball here. Remember, the first half of the first leg between Lev Vinken and Lost in the Waves was pretty tight as well. And there's a second half of the first leg where Lev Vinken really came out the blocks and started banging the goals in. But 100% of his passes have landed so far in this opening 10 minutes for Tuga. 0% for Lev Vinken. You know why? Because until that moment there, he hadn't touched the ball.
10 minutes. That's right, 10 minutes that Tuga had possession there.
Possession play at its best. But Lev Vinken knows how to score goals. I think he knows how to score goals a little bit more than Tuga. So it's a real good battle of attrition here against a goal scorer going up against a ball retainer. Both important skills in football.
always talk about how in the midfield you want to have a gladiator and you like to have a maestro. If these guys were teamed up on the real pitch, you would have the gladiator and Levinkin. And I haven't seen Tuga play, but by looking at his structure and everything, I think he'd be a maestro.
I feel like he'd be a fullback, personally, Tuga. Levinkin obviously having a very, very different challenge in this game to what he did in the last one. Last one, he went up against the attacking force in Lost in the Waves. Now he's going up against a possession-based defensive mastermind in Tuga. So it's going to be a real test of Levinkin's skills if he can come out on top of both battles. But his shooting will have to be a little bit better than that if he's going to get a goal against Tuga, a man who's only conceded 1 goal in 3 knockout games, 6 legs.
And that's poor from Lev. That's rushed. Sometimes when you play against a ball retainer, as you will, it makes it where you second-guess some of your shooting, you rush some of your shots because you know you're not going to get as many.
Exactly. You feel like you haven't had the ball in a while. When you get it, you convince yourself you've got to do something with it now. And if you're not composed and experienced in that scenario, you can rush things, like you say. And Levinkin's given the ball away there. 2-2, obviously in the Portugal kits here. Levinkin in the black strip. Alexandro running down the left wing for Tuga. Ronaldo. A bit of a hospital pass to Ruud Gullit there. And Levinkin gets it off him. Mbappe. Gullit. Mbappe on the ball again here. Levinkin maybe... I was going to say, is he playing Tuga his own game? But he looks to go forward a little bit quicker. Great through ball. Could be a goal for Levinkin. There it is. And if you're playing Levinkin, you can't be blinking.
And you want to talk about quality, composure. Watch his drag back. Wait for it. Uses every inch of the pitch, lays it off, creates the angle, creates the space. Neymar can't miss from there. Taps it home. 1-0 Levinkin. Take a bow, my son.
Levinkin doing what he does, getting the goal. And you said he needs to come out and maybe get a 2-0 lead if he's going to make Tuga really play. 1 more goal could give us that exact scenario. Tuga needs a goal. He's conceded only his 2nd goal of the knockout phase. And it is at the hands of makers Levinkin.
And that's huge for Lev, because now Lev doesn't have to chase the ball. He doesn't have to do anything out of the ordinary. He can focus on defense and then look to attack at whatever speed he prefers. He doesn't have to rush his attack. He doesn't need additional possession play.
Last time Tuga kicked off, he kept the ball for 10 minutes without Lev touching it. Looking to do the same sort of thing here, but he needs to do more than just keep the ball now. He's got to score. Ronaldo into Gullit. Vieira. Tuga looking for that important, incisive pass. He did time a shot green then, but he was taken down, and it's actually an offside against Tuga.
And what makes Levinkin special is that he has such good balance as a FIFA player. He's able to do everything on the offensive and the defensive end. He's able to have the build-up. He can play slow. He can play fast. He gives you this overall package. And when you've seen interviews with Levinkin, we've asked him, well, what do you think makes you really stand out? And he'll say, it's not one individual characteristic or trait that I have. It's that he is at a pro level in so many different facets to the game.
He's an all-rounder.
I also feel like he could be an extra in Peaky Blinders.
He definitely could be. If it all goes wrong for him, I'm sure he'll get the call up. Van Dijk switching it over to Sergio Ramos, playing left back for Levinkin. Switching it back to Varane. So, whereas Tuga's got the 2 Real Madrid centre-backs at centre-back, Varane and Ramos, Levinkin's pushing them further out wide. He's going with Maldini and Van Dijk in the middle, and he's got Varane as a right back, Ramos as a left back.
It hurts him a little bit with creativity going forward. Also, if you were looking to whip in crosses, Ramos not going to have the same ability to be dynamic as you're seeing Tuga start to inch players forward. But on the defensive end, better size, better athleticism, just better defensive stats in general.
Levinkin almost playing Tuga his own game a little bit here.
Levinkin's looking to get the last attack of the half, and that's why he's swinging it side to side. He's going to take this to the 45th minute if possible.
And Tuga's not probably prepared to commit the amount of bodies forward to get the ball back at this early stage in the matchup, because it is only approaching half-time in the first leg, of course. Tuga knows this battle has got a long way to go. So Levinkin maybe going to look to attack once we enter injury time of this first half. 2 minutes additional on the clock. Gullit on the ball for Levinkin. Is he going to go for it? Vieira getting a bit further forward now with Varane. Needs to be quick. Finds Ronaldo. Can he get one in? Can he nick a second goal? Could be crucial against Tuga, who doesn't score a bundle. Ronaldo hugs the touchline. Good defending from Tuga. Getting possession and allowing the whistle to come through. So it's half-time in this first leg. No shots for Tuga. And 49 to 51% possession. Not the normal Tuga we're used to seeing. Lev Vinken is 1-0 up.
And most of that's due to the end of the half where Lev Vinken was swinging it side to side. And something that you have to also respect with Lev Vinken is that he adapts to his opposition. He plays his opponent. He doesn't just play FIFA. So we saw in the previous matchup versus Lost in the Waves, he knew that he's going to need to score goals. Lost in the Waves is going to pressure. His weakness is that there's going to be space. There's going to be opportunity for you to score those goals. And he said, fine, I'll do that. High scoring affair, not a problem. I believe in myself. Basically, he put his defense up against Lost in the Waves defense. In this game, he's gone with a much slower approach, a lot more possession play.
It feeds in perfectly to what you were saying about him being an all-rounder. You know, he has the ability to take on any kind of opponent. Sure, there may be certain kinds of opponent that are better than him at a particular thing, but he can, find a man that can do both. Lev Vinken can do it all.
Well, he's playing Tuga like Tuga right now.
Ronaldo on the ball here for Lev Vinken. He's happy to go back here and just slow things down once again.
People often ask me, what's the best way to beat a possession player? And I'm guilty of this myself, is also to play like a possession player. You take them out of their game. A lot of times guys that hold the ball for all these additional passes is because they're trying to hide maybe a liability.
Lev Vinken with a chance here, trying to find any issues in Tuga's defence. Mbappe trying to squeeze it through all those red shirts. There's so many of them back still. But Tuga survives that one for now. Hullet switches over to Mbappe for Tuga. Can he get forward and push the envelope here? Try and get that all-important goal. Mbappe, he's got a runner in front of him. He's going to find him. It's Alexandro. He flicks it up, kicks it against the midriff of Virgil van Dijk, who takes it like a champ. Ronaldo into Neymar. Good tackle from Tuga. João Cancelo, the right back, not being used a great deal in this tournament. Obviously been working for Tuga though to get him all the way to the semi-finals. Will he go one further and make the final? Not the way it stands.
And this has become a battle of focus. I wouldn't be surprised to see more crosses attempted from Tuga as well. He's having so much trouble breaking down Lev Vinken in the middle of the pitch.
Chance to maybe put a cross in here. He's gone inside. Ronaldo over to Alexandro. It's going to come back to Mbappe. Mbappe turns back. Patrick Vieira, 1-2. Not the best cut pass there. And it's cut out by Lev's Patrick Vieira.
You could also say that Lev Vinken's got the scouting report. If you look at his back line with all that size, basically running 4 center backs, 2 in fullback slots. He knows that Tuga wants to go down those wings. He knows that Tuga's looking maybe to whip in some of those crosses, and he's trying to counteract it.
Chance here for Lev to make it 2-0! Oh! And he does! Lev Vinken, not the best at handshakes, but good at scoring goals.
I'm sure he'd rather score the goal than have a clean handshake.
As would I, Mike. As would I. He's doubled his lead against Tuga. He's the first person in the knockout phase to score 2 goals past the Portuguese. And Lev Vinken looking very good. Let's take a replay, not only of the goal, they got a bit of a deflection on the goal, but also this handshake. Slow-mo, where did it all go wrong? He went for the fist bump. His coach went for the hand. It's happened to all of us. It's happened to all of us. There's no shame in it, Lev. Hold your head high. You're 2-0 up, pal.
The open hand, closed fist, and then you just go with the grab.
You just
make sure you grab something.
You have to improvise. Let's do it now.
Which one are we doing?
And then you get it in the end.
You can't miss here.
You can't let it beat you. You come back from adversity, guys. Whether it's handshakes, FIFA, whatever. Lev Vinken, I'm proud of you for the handshakes. I'm neutral for the FIFA. But it's 2-0 to Lev Vinken. Tuga has got a lot of work to do. We're going to need to see a different side of Tuga. Has he got 2 sides? Or is he just, I was going to say Wanga, but it doesn't make any sense.
Tuga is gifted defensively. So if he goes with a higher pressure play, which we've seen him have to adjust in some previous tournaments, he can do it. It's not that his offense It's going to be next level, though. It's going to be his defensive pressure is going to get more aggressive. His traps will be higher up the pitch. He's not going to sit as deep.
Tuga on the ball here. Ruud Gullit to Mbappe. 1-2. Gets it back again. Mbappe with a chance here. Got to shoot. Gullit with an all-important deflection, taking it wide for a corner. And that could have been a huge goal for Tuga if he'd found the back of the net. Shaking his head there. He's not happy. He knows that was a good chance. He hadn't had any shots in the first half of this game. Something's going to have to change if he's going to get the goals back against the Dutchman.
And Levinkin actually didn't make any adjustments, didn't make any changes. I think he just needed a pause to maybe gather himself, gather the nerves, change the pace of the game. It's not a bad strategy.
Corner here for Tuga.
Well, I say it's not a bad strategy. We'll see if it was a good strategy.
He's gone short. Ronaldinho fix it up. Too near the keeper, though. Not even an attacking player, near the keeper to try and attack it. Straight into his arms. Was that De Gea in goal I just saw as well? Interesting. Mostly it's been Van der Sar. But De Gea is the man in goal for Levinkin. And it's working for him. And he is attacking now with Pele on the left side. Can he cross? Does he need to cross? He does cross. Header. Alexandro clears it. And now Tuga going forward. Lots of Lev defenders already there in position, though, to stop the attack. Havertz on the ball here. Finds Ronaldo. Can the Portuguese legend Ronaldo be a hero for the Portuguese player, Tuga? What a story that would be. Messi on the ball now. Still Messi, luck cricketering his way, trying to get past Gullit and Ramos, but not both of them. It's just too much to ask. Varane with a throw in here for Levinkin. Throws it straight to Tuga, but gets away with it. Down the line now for Pele. Got Ramos coming at him. Still with Levinkin though. Varane. Virgil switches it over to Ramos.
And if you're Levinkin here, you'd love to swing it around a little bit. Let everybody get a touch before going forward. Let that clock sit down or wind down.
Now, he'll be disappointed he's given possession away there because it's a crucial time in the game. But Tuga, he's showing some frailties here. Lev's ready to pounce on them, as we've already seen in this game. If Tuga can get at least one goal in this match, take it 2-1 to the second leg, he's very much open. But right now, the door's half closed. Havertz puts it over to Ronaldinho here. Trying to get the through ball. Van Dijk sticks out a long leg and stops the pass. And now Lev's back on the ball, where he can be very, very dangerous.
Oh, he's got space to work with.
Pele to Gullit. Vieira. Neymar gets the shot off. De Gea makes the save. Both keepers, De Gea, in this game. Unlike, and that's nothing special in the earlier tournaments this year, but more recently in this tournament we've seen Van der Sar in there.
And it all comes down to preference at the end of the day. Who have you played the most games with? Who are you most comfortable with? How are you using your goalkeeper? What do you need to stop? Is it going to be aerial threats? Is it crossing? 1v1s? Do you need the kick saves? Additional reactions? What do you notice in game?
Levinkin. Oh, it's gone in. How has that found a way through? That fist bump was better as well. Everything's coming up Millhouse for Levinkin. Let's take another look at that, because there was bodies in between the shot and the goal. I thought it was going to get a deflection somewhere, somehow. But it's worked its way through the red shirts into the back of the net. Punched out by De Gea. Hit first time. 3 of them on the line. Nothing they could do. This is a good angle.
It comes off Havertz's back, I think, and deflects in.
The old back deflection.
I love Kai Havertz. Just on a side note, that team is a foot item.
We know Kai
That's
Havertz.
my guy.
If you're watching, I think Mike LaBelle is your biggest fan.
I will happily take him out for dinner. If we can hang out, that would be wonderful.
Cancelo on the ball here for Tuga, who's in real problem territory. Let's be honest, Mike. He's never conceded more than one in the knockout games. He conceded 3 now.
And if I'm Lev right now, I just make sure I don't give it away. Take your 3-goal spread. If you can add one more, fine, but don't force anything.
Referee has indicated there will be a minimum.
Yeah, he doesn't need to try to get an extra goal in this one. 3-0 is a great scoreline to carry through, but can Tuga get one back just to open up his chances a little bit? Mbappe finds Messi. Messi whips it in. There's not enough people in the box and not enough height in attack, I don't think. And there is a shake of the hands between Lev and his coach. 3-0 in the first leg. The other semi-final, 0-0. perfectly poised for the second leg. No one knows where that's going to go. This one, slightly more predictable, I'd say. Lev Vinkin 3-0 up. It would be pretty surprising if Tuga got back in there.
It's still poised for a good second leg to watch for maybe the non-biased consumer, because otherwise Tuga would just hold the ball. And now he has to come out of that. He has to be more aggressive. He has to go forward. He has to take a lot of risk. So we should see goals in the second leg.
Yeah, there's no doubt Tuga's got to do that. And if Tuga comes out on top of Lev Vinkin with a massive comeback, he'll deserve all the praise he can get because he'll have to show a different side to him. Let's take a look at the highlights from that first leg semi-final between Lev Vinkin and Tuga. So Lev Vinkin gets the ball down the left-hand side to Ronaldo. Great pass, perfectly timed. Bang. Once you get that ball to Neymar in that area, kind of 6-yard box, it's always going in. Could even be an Adidas Player of the Day. Mainly because of the stage of the goal, the time.
And the drag back is just brilliant, using every piece of the pitch. It's not easy to do that.
That was the first goal. Second one, with a deflection on the cross, fell to Ronaldo. Deflection on the shot as well. And deflections are something that were pretty prevalent in that game for Lev Vinkin. That was the moment of the match. Definitely Adidas Player of the Day, actually, that handshake moment. And then this one, punched out by De Gea. You've got to applaud Lev for taking it quickly. But it does give Havertz the goal. So it's come off him. He's actually tried to duck under it, and it's just ricocheted like if you're just trying to, skid stones in the water off the top of Havertz's coccyx into the back of the net.
And if you're Tuga, you might feel a little bit unlucky. We've seen multiple deflections that separated the scoreline, like in a major way. Instead of it being 1-0, it's 3-0 off of a couple bounces that you could say had some good fortune involved.
Yeah. So 3 goals. That means 3 celebrations, a.k.a. 3 handshakes. Let's take a look at them. Now, that's a classic fist bump. That's an 8 on 10. Good work from everyone involved. This one, it's a 2. It's a 2. He got there in the end, but it was poor. But then they pulled it back in the end. And that's the character of this team, this Lev Vinkin team that he's put together. They don't let anything slow them down, Mike. I appreciate it.
They need to work this out as a squad. They got to be aligned. Even that first one was kind of like, one of them, no, you went the other way. He went the other way. Yeah, no. Yeah.
What do you mean?
It was like double fist, but it was one of these.
Oh, yeah, that was, yeah.
It's kind of clearly not on the same page. Second one, we saw the grab. Third one, looked good to go.
It wasn't textbook. You guys at home, of course, can be getting all kinds of good things during these streams if you've done what we've been telling you to do for ages now. Link your Twitch and EA accounts. If you've done that, you're eligible to win really cool stuff like a rare players pack, prime icon moments, and much, much more. So link your accounts. Don't be silly. Get them linked. Also, anyone who tunes in with a linked PlayStation account to the FIFA 19 Global Series PS4 playoffs, and you're watching on Twitch, of course, you will receive a FIFA Global Series PS4 playoffs home kit. Get your stuff linked. You've been warned. Let's take a look at where things stand after the first leg of both semi-finals. This first leg has been played. There was just no goals. Wolves for Filza. Nicholas, 99 FC of FC Basel. Second leg is going to be unbelievable. You need to watch that, guys. This one had some goals. Obviously, Makers, Lev Vinkin getting the 3 of them against Tuga, 8-10. Tuga is in danger of leaving the tournament. We know we're going to see him at the World Cup, but he has got a little bit of work to do if he's going to get some goals and get the win against Lev Vinkin.
He definitely needs to get the next goal. He can't go down 4. It's just not possible. Not with somebody who's had so much experience over the last couple of years with Lev Vinkin. And with experience comes facing adversity and also being on the bad end, being on the wrong end of some results. And it kind of makes you more ready to grab those big moments and to see them out. Because FIFA is so important. It is still a game that includes time play. And you have to manage the game properly. And Lev Vinkin can do that.
Definitely. I've got one more thing to read, but I put my card down, so you have to just mind with me here. I've actually lost the card. There's something I'm supposed to say, guys. I found it. Listen, this is good that I found this because it's massive. The E-World Cup preview show is coming July 25th, 2019, 6 p.m. GMT. It includes not just Dan Gaskin, not just Jimmy Conrad, but Mike LaBelle.
I'm going to work out some handshakes. I'm going to be ready to go.
I expect really good handshakes. 25th July 2019, 6 p.m. Set your alarm clocks now. You don't want to miss it. E-World Cup preview show. We're going to have a break now, guys. When we come back, we're going to have the 2 second legs of the semi-finals here in Germany. And we're also going to have a community countdown before we get to the semi-finals with our very own Alan and Kyle. And of course, you've still got the big final to look forward to, guys. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you very soon. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. More FIFA coming at you.
Quiero pedir perdón.
I'm sorry for all the players I faced.
The left backs.
A los laterales derechos.
A todas las defensas.
Sorry you trained so hard.
Mal mesmo para a sua reputação.
A vuestros tobillos.
The opposition coaches.
Aos goleiros.
Their teams, your fans.
I'm really sorry.
Sorry about your weakness. No son marcas personales.
I'm sorry I like to dance and entertain.
Destroy. Mas acima de tudo,
I'm sorry. Perdón.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry.
No sos vos. Son ellos.
Want to get on my level? Do you think you got what it takes? The dedication, the drive, the unrelenting fury. Do you think you're worthy? It's time to step up and show me what you've got. Boom! This is the Recon 200. An always-on bass-boosted shatter your skull extremely tactical headset unit built to take you to the next level. Incredible. Flip to mute mic. Metal reinforced headband, crushing 40mm drivers, memory foam ear cushions, and the sweet, sweet sounds of bass boost. Yes! Nothing even comes close. The Recon 200. Boom! Hear everything and defeat everyone!
The FIFA 19 Global Series playoffs are presented by PS4. And remember to pre-order the Ultimate Edition of FIFA 20 by August 5th to get a guaranteed once to watch.
So here we are in the cube. Now the setup is a little bit different, but that is because you can see in the top corner of your screen we have 26 minutes until gameplay resumes. So myself and Alan thought, instead of doing nothing, let's have a nice little chat. Welcome to the community countdown. Now, it's not just going to be us two. Oh, no. We thought we'd get some other pros in. Obviously, Alan's a pro himself, so we thought we're going to invite some of his friends over as well. But first, I thought, let's take the opportunity to talk to you, Alan.
Do it.
Now, as a pro, how would you prepare? How are you going to actually prepare now, being in a semi-final of such a huge competition? You've had one leg, going into the second leg. Do you change things, or do you just keep them the same?
So the way that I would prepare, first of all, I would keep on playing the game for champions, specifically play against other pros. Maybe go talk to some pros that are here lounging around in Berlin, ask them for friendlies, best of 3, put some money on the line, make things interesting so they can have that motivation to, try absolutely hard against you. and just work on different formations, tactics, and see what works.
Now, it's really interesting you say that, because when we are at these tournaments behind the scenes, you may not see, but we get to see so much, and we actually get to see all of the pros talking. At the end of the day, they're always together, they're always kind of in the groups. And how does that affect you? Because you've got to face these people at the massive tournaments, but it seems like a lot of you are friends.
Yeah, so for the most part, the more events you come to, the more you start to familiarize yourself with some faces, become friends, chit-chat, learn some secrets about one another, learn if someone's funny or not. I know there's definitely not some funny guys out there. I was kidding. There's some definitely funny guys out there in the FIFA scene, but yeah, it's always a good time putting a face to a gamer tag, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because you must face them on weekends. You must come up and match against some of the best players in the world. When you are playing that weekend league, is there anyone you just think, let me just avoid them? Anyone in my region, I just don't want to face against those.
The top dogs, yeah, of course. You don't want to play against the best of the best. I'm pretty sure that there's people out there that play FUT Champions Weekend League. When they see Alanavi, you're coming up against Alanavi, they're like, oh my gosh. No.
I would be. I'm not going to lie. I definitely would be. I've seen you grinding away behind the scenes as well. What you don't see, actually, in one of the rooms, they've got a setup, and Alan's got his console, and you're grinding away on the weekend league, as well as Brandon, who's still going for that gold one.
Hopefully he gets it. Yes, I've been coaching him. Hopefully.
How's it going?
He's going good.
You don't sound too confident.
Yeah, you know why? Because while I was over here, he started sneaking some games in. He was playing with Richard as his coach, and Richard, oh my God, I heard that Richard isn't that good of a coach. So.
He's not that good of a coach, but Richard's a good player. He is a good player. Do you think you could do that coaching role? We've seen some of the pros taking that coaching role. We've seen Tex here. He's been coaching over the weekend. We're seeing different ones coming in. Do you think you could do that?
Yes, I definitely think I could coach. I have coached some of my fellow viewers, friends, to victory. They've told me, yo, Alan, your tactics, your tips have helped me out achieve better results in the weekend league. So definitely coaching does come in handy. It will open up your mind to new ideas that maybe you don't see, but an outside spectator might see.
Now, you are here on the talent team, as we call it. You've joined us. But moving forward, looking at next year, what are your plans? How are you going to get back into it?
Oh, for sure. Day one, I'm going to try to get FIFA 20 as soon as possible. Start, grinding, playing FUT drafts live on stream, by the way, what I'm saying. Find me there. Make content over it, of course, but definitely learn from this year and try to better myself in areas that I probably found weak. My defense, my attack. Learn what works in the brand new game. It's always important to find out the little tricks, tips that may work in a different iteration of FIFA.
Now, how do you actually work on those specific things? That's something I've always been interested in, because I've seen some players. I remember it was Dull and Mike, I think, at one of the tournaments. He didn't play a single game. He just did skill games. That's all he did. He just stayed. He spent his time in there practicing, trying to green all of his shots and everything like that.
Yes, for the most part, the skill moves always stay the same, similar. The roulette's going to stay the same like it is in FIFA 17, FIFA 18, the way to, execute it. But definitely grinding the game, playing it. The more you play it, the more you familiarize yourself with certain areas in the game, what works, what doesn't, to certain types of passes, the shots. For sure, FIFA 19, we saw some similar ways of scoring, and a lot of people started implementing those ways of scoring into their game. So definitely just practice with the game, have fun with it.
Well, there we are. We've got some top tips from our resident pro. Not only have we got Mike LaBelle, we've also got Alan Avi here. But it's not just us, as I said before. So let's welcome on our first guest here. He is a pro. I've seen him at many tournaments this year. It is Joxan. We're going to get him on. Let's give him a round of applause.
He looks ready. He looks ready to go.
Smiling. Welcome to the community countdown. Jump in. How are we doing? All good, all good. Now take a seat. Joxan, first question I want to ask. Now, we actually shared a taxi together the other day. It was just me and you, so we had a little bit of a chat, and you were talking about your preparations for the FEWC. Anything changed? You're watching players here. How are you going to prepare for it?
Well, I think I'm going to take a short break after this, and then I'm going to reset and start preparing for the World Cup. Probably change formation, change tactics or something. So yeah, change some stuff to be ready.
That's something I